Nasza nowa strona facet5gps.com to bezpłatne narzędzie, które użytkownikom systemu Facet5 udziela cennych wskazówek na temat budowania relacji pomiędzy dwojgiem ludzi. Pokazuje silne strony, ryzyka, frustracje i wyzwania wynikające z ich współpracy. Mam olbrzymią przyjemność zapowiedzieć Normana Buckley, twórcę systemu Facet5, który opowie Ci o roli psychometrii w biznesie oraz o tym, jak Facet5 ułatwia budowanie dobrych relacji w środowiskach wielokulturowych.
And access to our fantastic new web app and system.
Right, hi, I'm Norman Buckley. I'm the original author of Facet5, and I want to talk to you a little bit about psychometrics in general. Then later I'm going to talk about facets specifically. Some of you might be wanting to know why I'd bother using psychometrics. Well, think about if you want to measure something. If you want to measure a piece of paper, you use a ruler. If you want to measure the weight of something, you'd use a set of scales. What if you want to measure how confident somebody is or how assertive they are? That's when you start to use psychometrics. Psychometrics are designed to give you an objective, reliable measure of different psychological aspects. Now that's a whole range of things that might be included in that. Facet follows what is an accepted model of personality. It's called the Big Five model. And what that says is that there are 5 core things that you have to look at in order to get a picture of a person. You can't pick and choose, you have to have all 5. So if you only take 4, you'll miss something out. If you only take 3, you miss something out. If you've got 5, you've got the whole picture. You might want to take it into more detail, and you can do that. You can break it down. Facet will actually break it down into 13 factors. Other models can go more detailed or less detailed, but the best respected models will always have 5 key factors. We've been working with Facet5 for about 25 years now, and one of the things that has enabled us to do is to pull data together from all over the world. We have hundreds of thousands of cases of data. And one of the, I guess it's a fun thing that we get to do, is to start looking at that data from different nations, different characters of different people. Are any of those, do they make any sense? Are there differences? We're often asked that kind of thing. There are a lot of stereotypes out there. And one of the things that we found when we started to look at the subtle differences between countries is that some of those stereotypes are actually true. Some of them are not. And facet data has allowed us to look into that very carefully. One of the very first things that we found, for example, I'm Australian, and so I wanted to know how Australians look compared to the rest of the world. Because Australia has an image which is very carefully managed externally of being a very laid-back, relaxed kind of place, and it's a very easy place to live. The data said that's not true. The data said Australia is actually a very conservative place. Now, when you've lived there for a while, you suddenly say, yes, it is. We have lots of rules and regulations. We've got rules about how to make rules. The stereotype was not true. So that was an interesting early find. And find out who's the most assertive country out there. And we were having a think about it, thought, I wonder who's going to go to the top of this list. It was Germany. Germany came out as the most assertive, stubborn group of people of all the hundreds of thousands that we have measured. Hotly followed by the Dutch and a few others. So we thought, well, that's actually not that surprising. A lot of people will say that. We looked at Britain. Now Britain, if you go out into the rest of the world, they say, oh, they're very stuffy, they're very, very conservative over there. They're actually not. They are the reverse of that. Britain is an extremely creative, imaginative place, and even though there may be a lot of history and a lot of rules, any rule they don't like, they'll just change, do it a different way. We've now got that information for 42 countries spread around the world. We will be adding to that as the data comes in, because we have to be sure that we've got enough data from any country for it to be a reasonable picture. We've made that available, and you can get hold of that. You can go and have a look. You can have a look at the countries. You can compare countries. And we have added to that by saying, if you, as a typical Polish person, was dealing with a Greek, what would you expect to happen there? What would be the differences? What would work easily? What might you have some trouble with? You can flip it around and say, well, that's okay. What about a Greek working with a Pole? How does that work? You can do that. You can cut and switch them around. That is, I guess, one of our fun things that we're doing, and it's something that we will continue to do because it's now available as a web app. It'll be updated on a regular basis, and you're more than welcome to go to have a look at it. It's at www.facet5gps.com.
Koniecznie zajrzyj na naszą nową stronę facet5gps.com. Jeśli chcesz dowiedzieć się więcej na temat systemu Facet5, skontaktuj się z HR High Touch Nina Sosińska, Facet5 Polska.